Hey guys, my name's Ian Costin and welcome to the video. In this video, what I'm going to be doing is showing you how you can make a stringer or tank top out of a regular everyday t-shirt. You can do this with a t-shirt, a long sleeve shirt, a hoodie, whatever you feel you want to make a tank out of. So all you need is scissors and a permanent marker. All the measurements we're going to do here are just with our hands and our fingers, so it's very convenient, very easy to do. Anyone can do it, and you can make a really nice gym stringer or gym tank top, whatever you really want. So starting off here, you can measure from the collar over. Go 1 or 2 fingers in. I usually go about 1 finger in. I believe that's what I did here. Yeah, see, 1 finger in from the seam of the collar, not from where the collar begins, but from where that seam is around like that little ring. You want to go there. After that, you want to go 3 fingers past the mark that you just made, or more if you want your stringer, the straps to be wider or skinnier. Underneath the armpit, you want to go 3 fingers down. You could go more or less if you wanted here. This is just going to create how big of opening you have where the arm is. I like to go with 3 fingers below the armpit. And then what you're going to do is connect your outside dot for your strap, your outside dot, all the way to that mark that you just made on the under the armpit. You want to mark out 2 fingers below the collar. So up top we went to 1 finger, but here we go down 2 fingers in order to give it a little bit of like a V form in there, because I find that if you come down and make it like almost like a V, that it works a lot better for the finished product. As you can see, I added a finger there. I guess I decided I wanted to go 3 fingers down and not just 2. It's totally up to you. If you want your string it to be nice and open, you can of course open up these measurements and show as much as you want. So what you want to do is connect the inside marks that you have to that center spot that you just marked out. Try to go right in the center of the shirt where you want to put this V. But if you mess up, see right here, I didn't like the way that I had it. I wanted it more downward. So all I did is simply bring it down and put it there. So you can kind of test the waters if you want. If you put it a little bit down and then you realize that you're going to want it more open, then you can open it up and actually cut it out more. So see, my first mark there is where I thought I might want it, and then I realized, you know what, I think I want it a little bit more down, a little bit more open, and that's what I did. However, remember that if you draw the line bigger, you're not going to be able to draw a smaller line and cut it and have that bigger line disappear. Chances are it'll still be showing on the shirt unless you use a washable marker or something of that kind. So as you can see here, I take those outside marks that I was talking about and connecting them underneath the armpit. And like I said, if you dislike how you did your line, you can always adjust it a little bit. I think here I do a little bit of adjustments. Yep, I do. I adjust it to exactly the way that I want it. You want to make it as symmetrical as possible. You can even kind of stencil it out of how exactly you want it and put little marks along the shirt, along where you're gonna be marking. However, I just like to freehand it, and I find that it's not too complicated to do. So as you can see here, we're starting to have a front of the shirt looking. We got the collar and the neck cut. We have what seems to be where the holes are going to be for the arms, and it's starting to look like a nice tank. Next, you want to flip it over and put your marks on the back of the shirt in the same spot that you had them marked out on the front. So we're going to connect some dots in the back for the design on the back of the shirt, but we want to make sure that we're connecting it to the same spots that are going to be from where we just marked out on the front of the shirt. So make sure you can see your marks, make sure they're prominent here. And now with the back collar, you don't want it to come down like you have the front where it's a V. What you want to do is just go roughly that 1 finger length that you marked out originally at the top on the shoulder. You want to just keep that width underneath the collar seam all the way along, parallel with it, so that it just opens it up as the next spot. If you want it a little bit hanging more open, of course it's up to you, but this is just what my preference is. Next, what I like to do is take the marker and measure down a marker length, and this is where I'm going to bring inside that the strap. It's going to come inside towards the back so you can show the back and then kind of swiggle back. So as you can see here, I bring it down, I bring it into that mark that I had marked out from the Sharpie right there. And then I'm going to bring it to that mark I have underneath the armpit, that 3 fingers down, same mark that I had on the front, lay it out to the back. I'm just going to simply connect the dots. Same thing you're going to do on the other side. You're going to bring it down and then bring it in, connecting to that dot that you had marked down already from the top of the shirt, a Sharpie length down. That's what I like to do. It's a personal preference. If you want to go lower, if you want to bring the back in more so it shows more of your back, of course it's up to you. This is just what I did here. As you can see, it's not perfectly symmetrical on this first line I drew, so what I did is decided to do another line and bring it in. So I'm trying to fix my line right here as I was going. And like I said, guys, you can always trim off a little bit more. You can draw that line a little bit bigger so it's perfectly symmetrical the way that you want it. But it's at the end of the day, it's going to be up to you, and it's going to be your shirt, your design, and how you want it. So see here, I'm double checking my marks. I realized that I didn't come in enough, so I decided to redo my line, bring it into exactly where I want it, where that mark is, and then bring it back out, still hitting that mark where the front of the shirt will line up. I like to go about a Sharpie length width in the middle, but like I said, you can do skinnier if you want to show more of your back. You can do less if you want it to be more of that old school style 90s tank cutoff sleeves. It's totally up to you guys. So now with the bottom of the shirt, I like to make it rounded rather than just that flat look in the back. So our flat look all around the shirt. So in the back you go up 2 fingers in the back. We're gonna come back to that though. First, let's figure out what we're going to do for the front of the shirt. So for the front of the shirt, we're going to take 3 fingers. We're going to take 3 fingers and mark it up roughly in the center of the shirt. So first off, you want to find the center of your shirt. I just measure with the Sharpie over. I find it, okay, right there's where 2 Sharpies come. I come from the other side, okay, there's 1 Sharpie, the other Sharpie, oh look, it comes right to the middle, so I know that that's the center of my shirt. From there, I'm going to go up 3 fingers. And don't go too crazy on this middle part, because for this design, I'm going to show you it's going to have that kind of V shape coming from it hangs down a little bit more in the front and a little bit shorter on the side. So as you can see on the side, I take 3 fingers, mark it to even out where the middle is going to be, and then I add 2 fingers. You can add whatever you want here and really make it personal preference. This is just the way that I like and the design that I like. So I want to put that same mark on the back there so I know where the side of my shirt is going to come up to on the front, and I'm simply going to just connect the dots and draw a line as smoothly as I can to give it that V shape. I like going with the V shape a lot. I find that it works well with the shirt for the finished product, and it's also a trendy, good-looking tank top. So that's the reason why I went with it. Of course, if you want it to be flat, if you want it to just be round, or whatever look you enjoy or want on the bottom of your tank, of course you can do it that way as well. But here for this example, I brought it with the V shape connecting in the middle. Now we're going to flip to the back and see where we put the marks on the side there. We have to be able to line up, and we also have the 2 fingers that we've marked out right on the middle of the shirt in the back. So put the little mark there if you didn't. And then with the back, I like it a little bit more flatter in the back and then connecting up to the dots. So I put 1 Sharpie in to mark where exactly I'm going to want the flatter part of the back to go to. And then I'm going to draw straight across and then sort of connect up to the dot that will be the side of the tank. So go straight, slowly curve up, and then bring it into that dot. You're simply just connecting the dots here, guys. It's really, really easy, really, really simple. And just a great way to make a tank. I love this design. If you guys like it too, I suggest you just take this design, do it to your likings. You'll soon realize once you do 1 shirt that how you want it to be, and I would recommend doing 1 shirt and then doing like a using a shirt that you can practice on first, and then going with a shirt that you really want to make the tank out of on your second one, because I found that when I did the second tank after my first one, that it worked the best. So now that we've connected all the dots, it's time to cut it up. So simply, you're just cutting the lines that you just made. So I started right from the back here, brought it up to where my line was, and just began cutting. One thing you want to do is be able to stretch the shirt out and be able to make it tight. Like you want to make it tight as you can when you're cutting. You can use regular scissors for this if you want, or you can use fabric scissors, which I find would probably work a lot better. I've never used the fabric scissors, but I know that they are a lot tighter and the blades are connected a lot tighter, so it'll make it a nicer, easier cut. With these scissors I use, they're just regular home scissors. They worked fine. I just had to make sure to put pressure. As you can see, I put a book down there so I could stretch the shirt and make a nice fine cut along the line. But that's basically it, guys. All you do now is just cut along the lines, and you'll have a tank top made. So I hope that this worked for you guys. I hope it works for you guys. I'm going to play some music here so you guys can just watch me cut the rest of this shirt up, and then I'll show you guys at the end how it looked like. Enjoy.
So I thought I needed. So I thought I needed. Thought I needed. So I thought I needed.
So here it is when it's finished. As you can see, that nice V shape in the collar, nice and open. That back is nice and open as well, loose fitting, so you're flexible in the gym, being able to push those weight, get those gains. I hope this video helped you guys. Hope you're able to build your own tank now, save some money maybe. And if you liked watching it, hit the like button. Thanks.